Today's workout, guys, is power snatch. So we've got a bit of Olympic lifting, some gymnastics and handstand push-ups, and some double under, some monostructural. So we're just trying to work these things under fatigue, which is, very, very important. Some barbell cycling to begin with. That's going to be pretty spicy. The handstand push-ups, a skill that most people want to try to learn in CrossFit, and there'll be some scaling options for everyone in the class. And that could mean from using no mats, using just doing normal regular push-ups, doing deficit handstand push-ups, all sorts of things. So that's going to be spicy because that's something a skill that I want to really work on, and then double unders. So how the format is basically a 15-minute EMOM. We'll start off with 7 power snatches. We've got here 40 to 60%. I'm going to talk to you a bit about percentages today. Handstand push-ups on the next minute, so choose a rep scheme, and 30 to 60 double unders on that. So for the double unders, guys, I did a few of them on Monday. So I have an injury, a prior injury that I like to keep under control. So I sort of know my body where I need to rest doing sorts of things like that. So what I'll probably do now today is do burpee over bar. Okay, something that again I like to work on and use that as my monostructural instead of doing double unders basically, and getting injured, because that's not what it's about, guys. It's about really you coming here. There's no you have to go get the football or and you're forced to do that sort of stuff when you're playing a sport or something like that. In a gym environment, you should never really train when you're injured. Okay, if something's bothering you, then a coach should give you, or you should be giving yourself something completely different. So in this case, I'm giving myself something a bit different. The most important thing, guys, is to realise and how the format is it's a 15-minute EMOM. So first minute 7 snatches, and then we've got the next minute handstand push-ups and then double unders, or whatever you're doing on the third minute, and it's just going to keep going until the 15 minutes run out. The most important thing, guys, is the percentages. Now, when we say percentages, people go, well, what's that? We don't understand what that is. Why do we have percentages? Well, if we look at the rep scheme, it's quite a lot of reps. 7 reps is unbroken, touch and go, is quite can be quite challenging. So we don't want to go too heavy in sort of that rep range based off our 1 rep max. So our 1 rep max is basically how we work out all our percentages. And how to do that is important. The only way to do that is to record your fitness, guys. Okay, there's that many exercises these days that particularly CrossFit do, and even if you're just a normal gym goer, you should be recording your fitness. Okay, so whether that's through weight, whether that's through the weights you're lifting, or if you're doing as many reps as possible, sets, all those sorts of things, they need to be put down so you can actually look back and find data. Now, with the system that we have, is basically if we do have a 1 rep max, or if we have never done a 1 rep max before and we've punched in some data, it will actually give us that information on what 40 to 60% is for that movement, if you've done that movement before. So the reason why that's really important is mainly because ideally that's the program we're following. Okay, we want to do 7 reps, so it's not asking us to do 80%. So to do 80% would be very, very difficult. It'd be very, very tough to do 7 unbroken. Okay, so we want to fall in that sort of bracket of 40 to 60% on what we're actually capable of doing, so we can actually achieve what the program is asking us to do. So that's really, really important. So if going too heavy will lead to probably bad techniques, single reps, and possibly even injury. So that's obviously something that we don't want. Now, the other thing, obviously, guys, is working under that percentage. So if we've worked into the 30%, we're actually not pushing ourselves as hard as possible. So a lot of the times, when intensity is based off, not just half and puff and how fast you run and how fast you want to push yourself mentally and physically, but just basically working off your numbers as far as weights are concerned. So we base off particularly strength training or lifting with weights, okay? So that's how we gauge our intensity, okay? So we can increase the intensity now through weights. Now, the most important thing is everything is individualized, and that's really, really important, because your 1 rep max and someone else's 1 rep max is very, very different from each other. So you can't be doing the same weights as everyone else. You've got to be doing a program that that follows an individual an individual program, basically, to suit your individual needs, okay? And whether that's through, like in my case, an injury, okay, I've got the option to change up something that I can't do, and in this case, my 1 rep max is different from everyone else's, so I'm going to be working off different weights than everyone else does. So that's the most important part, guys. So otherwise, when we do fall on that 40% or below that 40% barrier, if we're following this workout today, we're not going to be getting any results. We're just sitting there comfortable. We're going to be happy, and nothing's going to change in the body. The body is just too smart, and it just adapts very quickly. So let's see how we go today, guys.